last speaker who has just touched my heart so deeply, and get ready for your hearts to move. You've stayed on my heart these past 3 months working with you. So, and I know that her story is going to do the same for you all sitting here. She's founder and CEO of Vows for Eternity, a matchmaking service. She's the host of Heart to Heart podcast, and she is my new friend. Please welcome Anu Gupta.
I'm Anuradha Gupta, and it's a privilege to be here today. Silence. Not the calming, centering, healing kind, but the kind that is so deafening that it threatens to destroy you. I know that silence. I've lived with it for years. At 26, I just exited my first startup. I was in business school in Melbourne, driven, ambitious, and young. Then on the 22nd of November, 2000, my world, the way I knew it, crashed. My sister died. She was 21. And just like that, everything I had built, every plan, every ambition, every dream, every version of the future I had imagined died with her. We all have experienced loss of some kind. We all have been broken at some point in our lives. I was too. I was broken. I ran. I ran away from home, from India, from the pain. And for years, I kept running. Success is a very seductive disguise for pain. If you move fast enough, you might even convince yourself you've outrun it. But grief moves faster. It finds you. It throws its arms around you in an embrace that is so tight, it takes your breath away. And slowly, the past blurs. You forget what it once felt like. The touch of a loved one, the sound of their voice, even their face. That life becomes so distant. The new normal becomes familiar. I told myself I had moved on, but I hadn't moved on. I had only moved away. It took me decades to understand the difference. I was 6 years old, growing up in one of the most beautiful hill towns in India. There was this lake, there were mountains on both sides, and our house was perched on the top of one of the mountains. At night, as the lights came on, you could see the lights twinkling in the water. I remember the red chairs, the cream lace curtains, the mist as it flowed in through the many, many glass windows that were open, and my mother's very favorite music playing, Richard Clayderman, in the background. It was magical. Across the hill, my maternal grandparents lived in a charming cottage with a white picket fence. Weekends meant walking over to them, and as we walked in, we were enveloped in this aroma of freshly brewed tea, cutlets and sandwiches. In my grandmother's world, love and food and love were the same things. There was laughter, a lot of laughter, especially as my grandmother sipped her gin and tonic. And a familiar sparkle in my grandfather's eyes as he watched her burst into giggles, usually after the first 2 sips. Sometimes I wonder, did she do that just to see the joy in her eyes, or did he lovingly make her the gin and tonic to see her laughter? I guess I will never know. I do know that love, friendship, and respect, I first witnessed these in their marriage. Even though I couldn't yet grasp how deeply this would shape my own life, whether in the personal or career choices I made, I knew it was something very special that they shared. From my best friend, my mother, I learned the joy of simplicity. A hike, a picnic, rolling down a hill, playing Scrabble, watching the sunrise, the sound of the water, the leaves as they rustled, and of course, my love for changing seasons. She taught me how to find magic in the mundane, how to be still, how to just be. But when my sister died, the grief consumed me. Years passed in a blur, numbness, anguish, anger. I never returned to India. Something inside me had shattered, and I didn't know how to put it back together. Years later in London, I met Anand. 2 days in, and I knew this was the man I wanted to spend the rest of my life with. Thankfully, at some point, he felt the same. He's here today. Anand, just imagine all the madness you would have missed out on by not having me in your life. We found each other when I was 34. At 40, we had our first son. We lost our son on the 4th of February, 2015. The pain returned, and so did the silence. Then, at 42, we were blessed with twins. So often I reflect on my journey. It's not harder or easier than anyone else's. It's just mine. And yet, it's so intertwined with the lives of those who walked beside me. Do our journeys really belong to us, only to us? Or are they co-authored, imprinted by others along the way? I don't believe in coincidences. I believe we cross paths with people for a reason. In 2024, a friend texted me, "Have you heard of plant medicine?" "No," I replied. "You should try it. I feel you're ready." And with that cryptic text, a seed was planted. Months later, after a near-death experience, I found myself in the sacred valley of Peru, attending an ayahuasca retreat with a group of strangers. 10 days, one of the most transformational experiences of my life. For the first time in years, I could feel my emotions. I could speak them. For the first time, I could say it out aloud. I'm hurting. I feel lost. I feel pain. I am tired. For years, I had been strong for myself, strong for others. And it was then that I realized strength is not the absence of emotion. True strength is in its vulnerability. On the last day of the retreat, I called my mother in tears. I apologized for running away, for making it impossible to speak about my sister, knowing that that is all she wanted to do. She had spent years trying to reach me. I had spent years shutting her out. My heart broke for all the pain that I had unknowingly caused her. And yet, she is my best friend, even today. I recently turned 50. I'm currently enrolled in the OPM program at Harvard Business School. I'm writing a book. I'm learning to fly a plane because I'm petrified of heights. I've fallen in love with learning again, with growth, with reflection, with change. And thanks to my 8-year-old twins, I'm learning to accept my flaws. I'm learning to be kinder to myself. Life has taught me this. We get to choose who we become. Nothing is permanent. Everything evolves. I've spent a lifetime making peace with my silence. And now, when I sit with it, it no longer deafens me. It no longer breaks me. It no longer drowns me. It holds me. And in its embrace, I am home, finally home. Thank you.
Okay. I've heard Anu speak this story. She put it all into her own words. She's a beautiful writer. And even the last time you spoke to me,